Wimbush obviously can run. Lamb was a runner a little bit too last week. How are they different? How are they similar as a matchup for you?
Both those guys are pretty good quarterbacks. Pretty smart players. Lamb was a smart guy. And he's a little different. He's a bigger dude, and he can also run the ball, and also he can sling it. So the main thing is in the back end, we just got to be, sound technique and assignments. We just got to do. We got to do in the back end. We can't bite on runs. We just got to focus on our assignments and our alignments.
Is it hard to get a complete feel for a guy that has only made one start? Before that, he had only had a couple of mop-up duty games.
Not really, because it's kind of like the next man up. He got to come in and do his job. It's kind of situation with Jake. Step up and it's your go to rock the show. So I look at him the same way as it's his time. So what I got to focus on is getting my guys right in the back end and having the front right as well.
What kind of challenges the pace present for you guys with all the communication and the noise and stuff like that?
We just try to block it out. We don't really worry about the clutter. I tell my guys all the time. I don't deal with nothing to do with outside. Social media, all that. And my guys always tell me, we just got to block that out because everybody gonna say what they want to say outside. But what we got going on this here. So I just tell my guys, don't worry about what's going on outside. Focus on what you got to do and be mentally prepared for this game.
Did Jake Fromm impress you in the preseason?
Oh yeah, he's a guy. He always had, he was always on 10 toes. He never had that mindset of, if it's my turn, what I'm gonna do. He came in and stepped up and did what he had to do. But as a leader, I told him, after the game, don't worry about this game. This game over with. Notre Dame is our first game. And, just be mentally prepared and don't let nobody, take you out your game, and don't worry about social media. Reporters don't do none of that. You just focus on what you got to do and make plays.
You're confident in him going into this big game?
Oh yeah, no doubt. That guy's a baller. Man, like I told you, the main thing I told him was just keep focused. Block all the outside people.
What did you think the young guys' performance on Saturday?
Young guys did pretty good. They made some mistakes, but we had to correct those in Monday's practice. But I told those young guys, they can't look at those mistakes. We wanted a shutout, we didn't get it, but the main thing is those guys got the experience in the big game. And this week we on the road, so tell those guys we don't worry about last week and don't worry about because we're on the road and this is our first time, our second time playing Notre Dame. We just got to keep focusing, just practice the right way and do what we got to do.
You've been doing more coaching than you thought you might with Malcolm being out and Aaron being out a little bit and Richard's playing next to you a lot.
Well, yeah, Rich is a guy who came in pretty early and he kind of learned it pretty fast. But with those guys down, those guys keep me up every day. I tell Malcolm all the time, I got to do what I got to do and keep these boys right. And he also do the same. Even though he hurt, he on the sideline, keep everybody pumped up. Staying positive. He just doing what a leader do. Even when he's not playing.
Kirby talks about how Richard is just kind of a real passionate kid that just loves to play, loves to practice, always going 100%. Do you see that out of him, what does he bring to the table for you guys?
That dude is flying around everywhere. He's the guy you got to tell him calm down because wherever that ball at, he going to knock somebody out. And that's what I like about the kid. Just his passion for the game is just so much for him. His work ethic is unbelievable. But what I tell him is, you got to take over and you got to be a leader. You got to be a young leader because I told him you in the position I was my freshman year. So the main thing is tell him keep focusing, just keep flying around making plays, but also bring the young guys with you because you're a young guy that's out there getting more experience. But just be a leader as a young guy.
What kind of challenge does Notre Dame present in terms of their size at wideout?
They're pretty big, but that's something I'm not worrying about that. We're gonna handle ours.
You're kind of talking about the sort of blocking out the noise and all those kinds of things. How important for this game is it to block all that stuff out and really focus the mental part of the game, where it's all this stuff with Notre Dame and going up to South Bend? How important is it to block all that out in a game like this?
Just like every other game, it's always something being said before that game or who's the underdog or whatnot. It's just that's me as an individual. I just call the team up and let them know we don't worry about the outside. That's what the outside. That's their opinion. We us guys got to do what we got to do. We can't worry about what somebody else think. At the end of the day, they either here or with us.